Welcome to the Halloween special, the Kal Kat Halloween special. Pre-recorded the day before Halloween. The movie for tonight will be Syngenor, but not from this disc. This won't play on my computer. So, somebody ripped it on the internet, so I'm going to watch it over there on YouTube. It's free on YouTube there. I'm going to watch it. Syngenor, it's a 1990 movie. Sequel to Blood and Death, or something. What was the sequel to? Yeah. Kind of a pseudo-sequel to this movie from 81. Kind of. So we're watching a sequel. Yeah. And this isn't technically unofficial creature features because it's not the creature feature version of it. If they had the creature feature version of it, over there. So this is going on the other channel. This is not going on the first damn channel, this is going on the other one. Or you could put it on both and say it's unofficial creature feature if you want to, but it'd be kind of strange to put it both up on two different channels. So I'm going to watch the film, comment on it. I'll pause every now and then just to let you know, well, maybe if something funny happens. Here is Syngenor. It stands for synthesized, I should say, genetic organism. There's a guy named Cyberdyne in it, which they ripped off from Terminator. Terminator 2. 1990, yeah, it would have been Terminator, the first one. It's about an alien, a genetic alien, not a robot. So, Syngenor. Yeah. And it features, I met the guy at the convention, and at the Adam Savage Silicon convention. I was going to say Comic-Con, but they changed it to Adam Savage Silicon. He was there, the guy. He was bragging about having played the monster and having chased William Shatner's other daughter, not Lisa Beth, but the other one, around the house, the kitchen. Yeah, so Lisa Beth Shatner's in it, or one of the Shatners is in it. Anyways, Syngenor. Here we go. I will not be playing any footage from the movie. It's copyrighted by whatever studio this is. It's in film studio version. The one online is a German print. And here we go. Syngenor and Plan. And I'm going to go over there and talk about it afterward. Stupid. Oh my goodness. So we're about a half an hour into the movie, and it's about this genetic monster that's created by this evil corporation. Very 90s, very late 80s, early 90s idea. It's not so much Terminator as Alien and RoboCop, because he's like a super soldier. He's basically going out and he's going to be like a super soldier alien. Also, I think Mr. Gale was misremembering the scene in the kitchen. It actually is not. It's not Melanie Shatner. It is someone else that's in that scene. It's somebody else, star. But yeah, I mean they looked similar in the movie, so it's fine. That's actually somebody else. Now, we looked that up here. We have. So our cast is a lady named. Okay, it's a lady named Star Andreeff. What's her name? And yeah, she looks similar to her. I can see how we made that mistake. But anyway, we're watching Syngenor. And first half an hour, we have early scene with these four people. There's two bimbos. They're called bimbos in the story, and two guys, and they're going to go up to this loft and have some fun, and they're drinking, and then a monster kills one of them, and then the other guy escapes, a blonde guy from the cover and everything, and then we have him sending the other. There's like another reporter guy that's part of the the company, and he's doing nefarious things. And he was supposed to whack the other guy, but he didn't because he got distracted and he runs away. But the monster got to him. Well, not the alien, it's a hybrid monster. Then later on, the kitchen scene is the niece, the Valentine character is call him Cybergiant, which is funny. That's right out of Terminator Part 1. And it's not Terminator 2 yet because it hadn't come out yet. And he's not metal. So, anyway, so the guy does the thing and he's got the. So we have Evil Corporation, we have Monster, and doing mean things. She fends him off with a aerosol can and stuff. And the guy's killed somehow in the shed, even though later on things are kind of mixed up. There's a Evil Corporation guy who's injecting himself with something. Not sure what it is. Could be coke. I don't know. But I know in those 90s boardroom meetings there was always copious amounts of coke. So yeah. So that's how they came up with some of that stuff. But yeah. No. Yeah, so we're watching Syngenor, and this is the first half an hour into it. And it's about 90 minutes, so yeah. 2 more breaks. Yeah, so let's keep watching. It looks like the monster is on the loose, and it reproduces every 24 hours, which would explain how that would work. To egg things or whatever. Why would they design it like that? Oh, they do predict, they say the next war will be in the Middle East. But I think at that point they knew the early first Iraq War had started at that point, hadn't it? Or just about to. Early Saddam Hussein and the Kuwait, and the Iraq War, 1991. Yeah, so they're going on about that. Not directly though, because it's a monster movie, and they don't really do that directly. But yeah, so. They sort of predicted something, but not really because why not guess? So we're watching Syngenor. You're watching Syngenor, Halloween special episode, Syngenor. Now we're at the 1 hour mark, and so I'm gonna cut out a picture you won't see, just in case YouTube tries to flag shots from the movie. Cut out the shot. The shot was of Melanie Shatner juxtaposed to the other lady, who was the one that actually was chased in the kitchen. It wasn't Melanie Shatner. Melanie Shatner's character was killed shortly after the scene with the bad guy going down the corridor. Shortly after the first 40 minutes, he's basically dead. They try to cover it up. The corporate guys. There's a mix-up confusion because there's 2 uncles and 2 nieces in it. And the villain dude, who's a classic horror actor, he didn't live much longer than after this movie, the villain dude. So it wasn't the guy that we met. The guy that we met was the guy in the monster suit. Yeah, you can imagine. It's a different guy. So the guy in the monster suit probably couldn't see who he was chasing around the kitchen, thought it was Shatner's daughter, but it wasn't. Nope, it was the other. It was the. He chased her around down in the basement in the evil company. That's where he was, but different place. Sure, it was 30 years ago. He probably just didn't remember. Anyway, so we have then the photographer guy, the guy that keeps ending up parking in the handicapped parking spaces, getting towed away. The reporter meets up with the main star, the final girl, and she becomes his reporter, his camera reporter, and they go back to the Evil Corporation, and they interview they're going to interview the bad guy who was hitting off on his secretary and being all sleazy and stuff. she's apparently in on it. And then the blonde guy that looks like Mr. Malfoy from Harry Potter, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's Draco's father. It looks kind of like the younger blonde guy. They're old, but they're younger. He betrays him. They get a recording on a very obvious recording device inside a statue that's in front of them. And he gets all mad because he's going to betray them and everything. And, so he orders the boardroom meeting people to get down there, send the guards down to execute the Syngenor. Even though if there was a Syngenor outside and it was already killing the scientist guy at the house, it's already out on the street. It got out already. So there's another one out there. But this is the one that's in the base. And so he's going out there and you send these guards who are dressed kind of like Space Cop. You get these really cheap-looking, clunky shoulder pad things that they got from like a marching band store or something, and they have these like crappy helmets that looks like they got at a surplus sort of a Halloween shop. It's really, really cheap. Their guns are cheap. And they have flares, which they use at one point, and it almost looks like they tried to burn the actor in the suit, as he mentioned. Yeah, they would just throw flares at him and stuff. Yeah, we get that rubbery suit to catch fire. The movie that this is based on is a movie from '81, but they're no relation. They just use the same monster. So yeah, I think Creature Features probably did this, but we're not doing the Creature Feature version. This is not a unofficial Creature Feature at all. This is a Halloween special. And we're going to go on and watch more of this. The army guys get killed off, and the reporters escape, and or they're escaping. They're in the process of being menaced, but they're escaping. Syngenor. And you're watching Syngenor. Well, sort of. You're watching me describing Syngenor. After the military, the fake cops, plastic cops get killed, the reporter and the girl escape through the air vent, which then explodes. Because things explode. Because the heat that was exploding. The Carter Brown goes increasingly mad and nuts and starts killing a number of his people in the same way they did in the Guyver movie, which he also was in. The actor's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Dallas and that. He was in Reanimator too. It's a guy from Reanimator. So that main actor is chewing scenery, trying to get an Oscar performance out of a B movie with more stuff. And at first there's not a lot of gore, but the last 40 minutes or so makes up for it with lots of gore. I wonder if Mike Bracken, the Horror Geek, has done this movie, because all the gore is near the end. So, they finally show the gore. There's characters all draped out in the main building. They're all dead, and stuff like that. There's a mutant monster merged in with the monster and the secretary lady. There's mutations and Freddy Krueger type things. Some of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies did this. They had an episode of Nightmare on Elm Street where Freddy Krueger came back together from being dismembered. Yeah. Another one where they had a chest of souls. Hell. They also did that with Jason and so Michael Myers did something like that. Yeah, so this movie was Halloween. This movie was there were some gore scenes near the end. Lots of gore. Of course, the reporter and the final girl they have sex back of the house, and then they try to escape the house because they realize the pod has hatched, and the Syngenor that was outside is out. Their cop friend shows up to arrest them, turn them in, and the older guy who looks like somebody from Barney Miller, possibly Fish. It's not, but it looks like somebody. He was definitely in some of those kind of movies, and in other movies on TV. The guy, yeah. So. The animator guy also looked like the Cronin guy from later on, but wasn't. Um, so anyway, the car, the Syngenor is on the roof of the car when they escape. The cop guy's killed by the Syngenor on the roof of the car. The car goes down the street and crashes into another car and then explodes. They jump out just before it explodes. And somehow cars explode in Hollywood movies, so it just explode from hitting something. It wasn't a Pinto. There they go. Here we go back to the building, and she is. They go back to the building, and they're somehow let in because apparently the doors aren't locked. And the evil corporate guy, scene similar to the raid, has gone insane. He's killed all of his people. Apparently the blonde guy is still alive, as well as the lady, and then he's killed later. And the secretary lady and them go find the blaster, which he had used earlier. He's the ray gun to blow up one of his employees. And they could use it to blow up the Syngenors as they're in the elevator lift. Blast them, and then the other guy's down there. She's almost going to blast the other guy. Secretary goes crazy. And ends up blasting the Syngenor. Pops up. But the secretary lady and the Syngenor are then next to each other. And it grabs her. And they fire on both of them. The ray gun. They use the ray gun to fire on both of them. Then they leave thinking the blown apart lady and Syngenor won't reassemble into Syngenor Lady Mutant. Actually, Color of Space ripped that off. Like 2 decades later, Color of Space ripped that off. Same effect. It's sort of a grows to it in Color of Space, but yes, a merged demon creature. And then, of course, Signs ripped off the ending of this movie by having the creature be affected by water, even though previously it wasn't, because they were in water when it assembled. So why would water affect it? Blood and water everywhere. It shouldn't have done anything. But oh well. So somehow water affects it, so we can kill the main bad guy. Final scene. So, it's the evil boss guy, like hugged to death and then even killed by the monster, the hybrid monster. And it seemed very reminiscent of some of the horror splatter comedy stuff I wrote in the 90s and never published. Very similar to that. Maybe I was inspired by this movie. Anyway, so Syngenor. I watched. I did not watch the DVD version because it didn't play. And it's signed by the guy that played the monster. I watched the German print of the Blu-ray, and Mark's Cards, I think, owns the Blu-ray. So this was Syngenor. It's a review. So that was our Halloween special for tonight, and it is not a unofficial creature feature. It's a Halloween special, and tomorrow night will be Halloween, and I don't think we're going to do anything for actual Halloween. This is a Halloween special. So Syngenor, and it's pretty bad, but at least it has a lot of gore effects near the end. Make up for it. It's a splatter horror movie. Red Letter Media should do a best of the worst with this one. They should. I think it would be up there. That's the word. Yeah, I think they should totally do this. This is the 2019 print of this from Synapsis Films. So I don't want to show any clips from it. So get any clips out that might be in there. So this was Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. It is Happy Halloween, and that's it for 2022. who's been eating that week. And yes, that was me at the Harvest Festival.